Hello, my Jason. Now, welcome to my manga review for Twin Star Exorcists Volume 11. And so with this volume here, we have an update on what Benio's doing and a lead up to her story going on. That's probably the B story, and so we won't get an update on that probably for a while. However, for Rokuro's story, the A story, per se, we have a tournament arc basically leading up to the end of Volume 11, the Hadare Castle Games tournaments, where not only will Rokuro join and Mayura will join, but we also have the rest of the 12 Guardians as well. Mayura, she's technically part of the 12 Guardians, but she's still a newbie, and so she's starting to at least equate herself to the family house and to being the head of the Otomi family, at least, whatever the last name that her father had, whatever that family's name is, her new family, she has to lead them there, and she has the full support of them. I'll get to that later on, because that's a really funny scene there with Mayura already being accepted by her family clan members, at least. But for Rokuro, he has to enter these Hadare Castle Games, because if he wins it, he'll gain a lot of notoriety for the Enmado house, because he can't go on these high-ranking missions just yet for the Yuto extraction mission, at least, because he is a low-ranking member of his family, family of one, basically, along with Shikigami as well. And so Rokuro has to enter these games in order to go on this Yuto mission, and so he has to go up against these 12 Guardians as well, which will be a tough task, because it's going up against a new territory and new enemies as well, new powers at least, that he has to overcome in order to take on Yuto. And so starting off with Benio's story, we have Benio being mocked and belittled by Kamui, because the last time Kamui saw Benio, he gave her a power boost, and she was at her most powerful state, arguably, and seeing her in her current states kind of disappoints him, because he just wants a big challenge, being the youngest Basara. He just seeks more challenges, he wants to fight all over the place, and you have a Kaguri looming behind her, but through exposition, it's sort of coming back and forth between her story and Rokuro's story, but just telling it all in one piece. Exposition tells us that she's been in Magano for 5 days, and she's been surviving just by running away, basically. She's just living off the last of her grandmother's food that she has left. And, Kamui finally helps her out, finally helps, destroy all the, Kaguri, for her, and has agreed, to take her to Chinu. And so, if you remember from past volumes, and, very vaguely, before, about the whole, Basara ranking system. The Basara are ranked from which they are born. And so Chinu is the first Basara ever born, and Kamui is the least, at least the most recent born Basara, as we remember from the other times they went up against Basara before the Twin Stars did. And so that's the whole plan, I guess, for Kamui, to take Benio to Chinu in order to regain her powers, because I guess Benio's powers, especially her guardian spirit, has something to do with if a Basara, and remember from the last battle between the other two Basara that Benio went up against, her powers were very much related to Kaguri's powers, and so what that means exactly, we're not really sure just yet, but Chinu may provide the answers for Benio that she needs and get the power that she once has. Will she retain her sanity, as she failed to do before, or that's something we're going to find out much later on, because the Rokuro story must take precedent before. And so he starts, for Rokuro's story at least, he starts school once again. He has to go to another school, but it's not really that long-lived. We're not having a slice-of-life adventure of Rokuro in this new school at Seiyuing. Basically, it's just more of a device to, I guess, introduce this new character in Arisu, who's actually, I should say, Arima's son. And he meets Arisu here, and Arisu is definitely a, more of a androgynous sort of character. He initially looks like a girl, but he's actually a boy. And Rokuro, there's a joke about that there, just a bit of a poor taste joke there, but I guess you have to make it because they have to, I guess. Just not really that favorable there, but he definitely is a androgynous sort of character, and Arisu has this superiority complex towards Rokuro as well, but they are ranked in the last class 10, and so maybe that was on purpose, perhaps. That's what Arisu is probably thinking. That's why Rokuro's powers were suppressed by Arima, but Arisu does help out Rokuro in releasing those powers once again to have him go up to his full potential. But Arisu does join Rokuro's house, just because, I guess. There isn't really a concrete reason. He just joins it to really make his own destiny, I guess, because he does live under the shadow of the head exorcist Arima, and it's much to the dismay of Arima for Arisu sort of acting out. He tries to be a good father, but however, the death of his wife and Arisu's mother really has torn up their relationship, and even Arima says, in his own privacy, that he doesn't know what to do. He tries to do his best, but still he doesn't really know how to balance out head exorcist between father, and I understand that as well. And Arisu is struggling with that as also with the loss of his mother being a linchpin towards their family, and with that being lost, that connection is lost, and so Arisu is sort of finding solace within Rokuro and sort of the relationship they have there, that Rokuro is really much caring for Arisu, even though they just met, and it really shows a lot more about Rokuro's character as well. Meanwhile, with Mayura, we have her going on a mission, just sort of testing herself out and really just getting more training, but she struggles a bit there, and so she needs help from Sada, Sakura, and Mitejimi Subaru. They both help her out in a very badass sort of way. As far as our first introduction to these characters, I believe it is. I think we've seen Sakura before, but I think Subaru is our first introduction to her in the manga, at least. We've seen her in the anime much earlier on. She serves as a mentor character towards the Twin Stars in the anime. However, in the manga, we see a much different side of Subaru, in that she's more of a role model / rival to Mayura, because Mayura is looking on at Subaru in a very in that sort of manner, at least, that she does see her as a role model, but also as a rival as well. And we will see later on that rivalry be more explored, at least, in a much high-stakes sort of way. And so the rest of Volume 11 plays out with Ioroi and Rokuro on there, just sort of back and forth there. Ioroi introduces Rokuro to his big family, along with his very petite wife, and so that's pretty much a joke there. But Rokuro does ask Ioroi for a power ranking of the 12 Guardians, and so in Ioroi's point of view, this is how the 12 Guardians are ranked. Starting from the top to the bottom, we have Tenma, Tatara. If Seigen was still around, he'd be number 3. Kankuro, Shimon, Subaru, Cordelia, Ioroi, Kengo, Arata, and Miku. And so that's the power ranking that Ioroi presents himself. He puts himself at pretty much the bottom as more of the support class of the 12 Guardians. And Ioroi does tell Rokuro straight up that, no lie, that he does not stand up to any of the members of the 12 Guardians, not even the bottom members of the 12 Guardians, and that he's more on par with Gunki and Keiji, basically the more powerful members of the Exorcists that are not the 12 Guardians. And so Gunki is Ioroi's oldest son, and Keiji is Shimon's older brother. And so Rokuro more stands up to them. However, Rokuro does not be discouraged by all this. He's more motivated to actually take on these opponents even more. And so he'll take on a 12 Guardian in the first round of Hadare Castle games, as Rokuro takes on Kankuro, who we last saw in a scene before, does not like people who try too hard. He doesn't like people without talent that try so hard. And so a very familiar storyline there, and shown in anime. Mayura goes up against Subaru, the Amakawa clan, that's their name there. They're all in support of their new head. I really like that scene there. Really shows how much the clan is so loyal to their clan members, a clan leader at least in Mayura, and that's, get rid of that old hag in Subaru, and they're all in support of Mayura. I really like that stuff there, and I can't wait for the Mayura scene against Subaru. That battle is going to be epic, I'm sure, but if it's anything close to Mayura scene where she finally unlocks the White Claw's Byakko. And of course, the Rokuro and Mayura battles will be important, but also a heavyweight battle that is probably going to be the most epic, I would say, is the Shimon-Tenma battle. Tenma being the most powerful of the 12 Guardians, probably the most powerful exorcist ever, probably behind Arima, perhaps. And you also have Shimon, one of the younger members of the 12 Guardians, and he's very powerful himself. However, he needs a lot to prove, especially against a guy like Tenma. And so those will be epic battles to come in the Hadare Castle games. Another tournament arc for a shonen anime. Nothing too surprising there, but it sure is to be a lot of fun to be expected. And so for rating for Volume 11, I'm going to give this one a B rating. The treatment of Arisu as a character was a bit iffy, but I think they did it pretty well to establish him as a good supporting character for Rokuro, along with full ranking of the 12 Guardians. We finally get here, a very official ranking. We have a ranking of the boss route, so it's pretty fair to get a ranking of the 12 Guardians. Also nice to see where Benio is at this point. You know, going to meet Chinu, Kamui, going on an adventure with them there. I would like to see a whole volume dedicated to that story there. Hopefully we get that in the future, perhaps. We also have the Hagari Castle games established, and so tournament arc, always a good tournament arc in anime. Never can go wrong there with that approach. And so what do you think about Volume 11 of Twin Star Exorcists? Put your thoughts on the comment section down below. Also make sure to like, share, and subscribe as well. Thank you for watching my manga review for Volume 11 of Twin Star Exorcists. Hope you have a nice day. Bye bye.